Today, tomorrow is the spring equinox. Now, in Indigenous calendars, this was the beginning of the new year. This was when things were beginning to spring forward. This is why they call it spring. And so we've created a program that's going to start around this spring equinox so that you can spring forward. Before I tell you about the program that we are releasing today, I need to tell you a story about why I am creating this program. Why this program is important. You see, I'm taking off my glasses so y'all can see my phys ace, because I want to be very serious. I want you to see me very closely when I tell this story. Today is the day that I moved from community organizer to community coach. One of the things, I have been in community organizing for over 25, 30 years. For 30 years, I mean, to be honest with you, it's kind of hard to say. I was born into community organizing. My father was a community organizer. My grandmother was a community organizer. I was born inside of community organizing. And so I have a very unique perspective of what it takes and what the ins and outs are, what the pitfalls are, and the actual toll, the actual physical, mental, psychological, and spiritual toll that it takes to be a community organizer, community activist for all these years. It is a perilous journey. It takes its toll on the body, mind, and soul, and it begins to wear down the individual. The struggle, unless you are properly prepared for it, begins to wear down your soul. Trust me, I know. I'm a 2-time cancer survivor, so I know the toll that it takes on the body being constantly engaged in this work. So about 4 or 5 years ago, for those of you who know, I did my first dance with throat cancer. And I had an operation. I had stage 4 throat cancer. They operated. I couldn't use my voice for quite some time. I lost that time about 45, 50 pounds. I went through it. My mother helped heal me through that process. And it was a brutal process. About a year and a half ago, I got my second dance with cancer. And this time I went through radiation treatment. And most of you who know me, you know how that journey went. You saw me transform and go through that journey. It was through my second dance with cancer that I finally, as a community organizer, our heads are thick. It is when I finally decided to make a complete and total shift towards an merging community organizing with community healing and bringing those two modalities together. One of the things that I noticed, and one of those things that I picked up in that journey, is that those of us who are in the movement are so injured that we spend most of our time fighting each other, cutting each other down, dogging each other out, clapping at each other. My good friend, Sister Lisa Calderon, she talks about this being lateral violence, meaning that since you are not prepared or not educated enough to take a shot at the supremacy or the notion of white supremacy above you, what you then do is you take a shot and you fight your brother who's right next to you, your sister who's right next to you. And that takes a toll on the movement, and it takes a toll on the individual. I cannot begin to tell you how many times that we were so close to disrupting and dismantling and completely transforming a supremacist system. And right on the precipice of success, what we would do, or what you would see, is the movement begin to fractionalize and then begin to consume itself right as we were about to pass the Mason-Dixon line and move to the North Star and move into a space of freedom. We began to attack each other. And it's through those attacks, and you still see those attacks today. You still see that behavior today, that fractionalization, that infighting, that backbiting, all happening inside of our community today. And so it was from then that I decided, no, before I go to war again, before I move into a stage of going to war again, I will make sure that all the soldiers that I am surrounded with have gone through the process of healing so that they are clear on who and what the true enemy is. And it was at that point that I took the African proverb, and I ingested it. I swallowed it. I consumed it. I let it resonate through my being. And that is this saying here. If you defeat the enemy within, the enemy without can do you no harm. Let me say that one more again, and then we're going to drink some water. If you defeat the enemy within, the enemy without can do you no harm. Asamalahaya, water. How do you get Black, brown, Indigenous, and working class white people to invest in themselves? How do you get them to do that? Because this is a group of people that are not used to investing in themselves. Very similar to mothers. Mothers are not used to investing in themselves either. That's why mothers will run themselves ragged. Teachers, another great group, are not used to investing in themselves, and the system doesn't invest inside of them as well. But I'm going to tell you what, it isn't until you move into a mindset that you will invest in yourself that you will experience a level of success like you have never seen before, which is why you are encouraged not to do it. Now, here's the thing, and now I'm going to listen, brown, Indigenous, and working class white people. I need you to give me a minute because I'm going to talk to my people, because those are the people that I know best. We will invest in our hair, getting our nails did, and some tennis shoes, and being clean, and we'll invest in that. But we won't really invest in ourselves and in our success. Successful people invest in themselves. They invest in their health. They invest in their continued education. They invest in learning from people who have mastered it already. You have to invest if you want to be successful. You have to invest in coaching. And that's why I am moving from community organizer to community coach for the next 365 days, because what there exists inside of our community is someone who has traveled that path before and has paid the price before. I got a surgery and I got 39 radiation treatments to prove it. Unless you build a success container, unless you mentally build a success container, a container that can hold your success, you won't be successful and you won't stay successful. You want proof of that? Go look at where most lottery winners who win millions of dollars, look and see where they are 5 years after winning the lottery. They never build a success container. They never understood that they had to change their mindset to wealth and their mindset to investing in themselves. They never had to change it. And so the money comes in and then it goes right back out because it was never built. And this is why you can give an oppressed people. This is why, listen to what I'm saying here. This is why you can give an oppressed people money and you can bet and rest assured that it's going to come right back to you. I'm not here by accident. I didn't get to be able to broadcast to you right now from paradise by accident. I got it by investing in myself, investing in my health, investing in my wealth container, in my success container. And that's what I'm going to teach 30 people how to do in 1 year. And by the end of 1 year, I guarantee you that you will be experiencing a level of success that you have never experienced before in your life. And I'm not coming to you from a Tony Robbins. I'm not coming to you from that perspective. I'm coming to you from the perspective that if I understand this science, I understand the science that if you truly invest in yourself, if you invest in you, you are actually investing in the universe. The Egyptians said that the highest form of spirituality that you could ever embark upon. Listen to what I'm going to say to you right now. Listen. The highest level of spirituality that you can ever embark upon is not to how many times you pray. It's not how many alms you give. It's not how many times you read a sacred book. It's not how many times that you pray for forgiveness. It's not. The Commissions, the Egyptians said the highest form of spirituality is for us to know thyself. They put it on all their temples. Know thyself. Why did they say know thyself? They said that because you are a microcosm of the universe. Everything that existing inside of you, that happens inside of you, the processes that happen inside of you, the process of success, the process of movement, everything that's happening here is happening up there. It's happening out here. It's happening in life. You are it. You are it. That's why they said, don't go study the universe first. Don't go study out there. Study in here. Know thyself. And so we're going to take a 365 journey on investing in and knowing thyself. That's what this is going to do. And you're going to do it for less than $5 a day. We have broken this program down into 4 parts. Each part is 90 days. 490 days equals a whole cycle. This is all based upon success science. Word to the mother. First days, we call it the 4 relationship rings. 4 relationships, 90 days. At the end of this year, you are going to have 4 rings. May not look like this ring, but you're going to have 4 rings. The first ring is your relationship to yourself. What is your relationship to you? The whole know thyself part. What is your relationship to you? Do you know yourself? Do you know yourself? We're going to make sure that we dig in deep and you get to know yourself. And you're going to do that by developing 9 success habits. And these habits are going to move you along so that you get to know yourself and you get to master yourself, your secret sauce. How did McDonald's become the master of what it does? How did KFC become the master? And they had a secret sauce. What is your secret sauce? Most of y'all don't even know what your secret sauce is, but you got one. You got one. You just don't know what it is. So in that first 90 days, it's relationship to yourself and discovering your secret sauce. The second 90 days is your relationship to relationships. Let me say that one more again. Your relationship to relationships. Most of y'all have shitty relationships, and you have shitty relationships because of your relationship to yourself and because of your relationship to others. Because you have a poor relationship to yourself, you have a poor relationship with others. Most people, those who are the top business people, will tell you that doing business and being successful is all predicated on relationships. It's all about relationships. Deals are made with other people. People buy your product. You are able to sell your product. You are able to sell your services based upon relationships. That's what we're going to do. That's the second 90 days. First 90 day, first ring, relationship to yourself. Second ring, relationship to love and loved ones. Third ring that we're going to focus on is relationship to money. If you are not experiencing abundance, It's not because of your life circumstances necessarily. It's because you have a poor relationship to money. I explained this very clearly earlier when I told you to go and look up. Many of you can do it even as I'm talking right now on this show, and look up how many millionaires end up broke after 5 years. Why is that? Because they never changed their relationship with money. They were just a broke person that bought a lottery ticket. A broke person that and the money didn't fix the broke, because the broke is a mindset. All that money, you didn't fix your broke. So then you go broke again. Water will always find its level. Water will always find its level. So the third ring that we're going to walk with people is through their relationship to money and success and their career. What are you here for? What is your gift? Are you out here hustling, but you're not hustling in your vein? You're not hustling in your lane, right? We're going to find out and discover what your lane and what your vein is. If any of you've ever done or saw how they do gold and how the miners found gold, it was all about finding a vein of gold. It wasn't about finding just a nugget. It's when you hit a vein, because when you hit a vein of gold, you are successful. You've made it because you've locked into it. Where's your vein of gold? Where's your vein of success? That's what we're going to discover. That's what we're going to look at. The last relationship ring that we're going to look at is your relationship to your community, to your service. Some of you may be too young to know or remember who Mother Teresa was. Mother Teresa was a Catholic nun that traveled the whole world, and she gave, and she went to war-torn areas. She went to the downtrodden in India and Africa and Europe. This woman was everywhere. Mother Teresa was everywhere. What we don't know about Mother Teresa was how she moved around the world, how she lived as she moved around the world. Mother Teresa didn't catch no public airlines. Mother Teresa wasn't staying in no Motel 6s. Mother Teresa was not broke. She was not broke. You know why? Because she poured her service. She found her vein, and she understood her own wealth. Her own wealth was tied to her ability to service her community. Mother Teresa traveled from one place to another by a private jet, baby. For real, supplied by the Vatican. She was balling. And I'm not saying that to you to say that the idea is for us all to have private jets. The point that I'm making is that those who receive abundance are those people who dedicate their abundance to service of humanity. And what you have to give to humanity is what's going to make you successful. That's all. So the fourth relationship ring is about how can you build a container to service as many people on the planet with your gift. That's what we're going to learn, those 4 rings series. So I'm going to ask a member of my team to go ahead and post the link to sign up today. And listen, you can sign up today for this 1-year journey. We're going to give you the first 14 days free. The first 2 master classes for free. We will do a master class every week for a year. Let me say that one more again. We are going to do a master class for a week every year on the 4 relationship rings, where we completely transform your life so that you are successful in every sense of the word. What you will get every week, an exclusive weekly live masterclass. You'll get access to all of my previous recordings and previous lectures. You will get a course, our workbook, which is my book, and weekly exercises to walk you through. Weekly exercises. And this is what we're going to do. We are going to have we're going to have what we're calling after parties, where like after we have these sessions here, we're going to stick around with the people that stick around, and we're going to talk about, we're going to ask questions, and we're going to work through it. This is all part of my journey of moving from community organizer to community coach, so that I can build the next generation of community organizers, so that they don't have to suffer from cancer, so that they don't gain 80 pounds, so that they don't get on Facebook and start blasting other people who are in the movement that are doing things differently than the way that they're doing, and tearing down the movement and creating an environment of distrust and hate and suspicion. Right? That's what my duty, this is what I'm doing to give back. This is my service. This is what I'm putting forward. And I'm asking you, and I'm really pushing you to invest in yourself. I need for us to show and to prove that Black, Indigenous, people of color are willing to invest in themselves in order to be successful. That's it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So what you're going to, the first Success Series Masterclass starts on the 31st of this month. That is the last Wednesday of this month. Talib, y'all hear that? The birds are telling y'all. We're also going to be having, I forgot to almost mention this, we're going to be having SoulJourner Success Retreats. And listen, you're going to need your passport. You're going to need your passport. If I showed you, let me see if I can show y'all where I is, just so that y'all clear. This is y'all. Can y'all see that swimming pool? That's not a hotel, y'all. That's not a hotel. That's where I'm staying, and the place that I stayed before this one, which is Casa Maya Azul, which is where we're going to be having one of the success retreats, if not a few of them. It had a swimming pool too. This is where your boy, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Invest in yourself. Less than $5 a day. So what are you going to have to do in order to invest in yourself for $5 a day? Yes, you're going to have to discipline yourself. You're going to have to cut out that cup of coffee. You're going to have to cut out wasting something. Remember, waste not, want not. That's a spiritual principle. What are you wasting? You are wasting $5 a day somewhere. So it will teach you, it will discipline you not to waste that money there, and instead invest inside of yourself for less than $5 a day. That's why it's going to make you successful, because it's an investment in you that is going to teach you to focus yourself. To focus yourself, because you're already wealthy. You just have to build the container to hold your wealth, to hold your health, to hold your spiritual body. You're going to have to build the container, and we're going to build that container in 1 year. Asama Lahaya. Asama Lahaya. This program is for you. And I created this program for you. My team created this program for you out of love. Out of love. This is not for money. This is an investment for you, which is why I said this is an exercise for you, which is why I said once you invest in it, and if you're not where you think you want to be at the end of the year, we'll refund you your money back. This is not about money. This is about you investing in you for 1 year, 365 days. Go and click the link. Be one of the 30 people that sojourn with us for the next 365 days a year. Get your 4 rings. Get your 4 rings on. Get your 4 rings so that you can move on and experience the life success that the Creator has blessed you with and wants you to have. So this is your boy H Soul. I am coming to you live. I like that, Lord of the Rings. I'm coming to you live from the island of Isla Mujeres, from the goddess Ishel, who is the provider of abundance, the provider of all kinds of blessings. Look up and Google who the goddess Ishel was, and look at how she blesses lives, and understand that me announcing this program to you on her island, in her spirit, is not by accident either. We are going to bless, and you are going to be abundant this year. This year, 2021, is your year. You're coming out of the cold, as Bob Marley would say. You're going to come out of the cold. And this year, I just need for you to invest in yourself for less than $5 a day. On that note, I will see you on Wednesday. I hope that you have a blessed Sunday. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, it is our duty to love one another. It is our duty to love and protect one another. We have nothing to lose but our chains. This is H Soul coming to you live from the island of Isla Mujeres, the island of women, the goddess Ishel, and I will see you soon. Out.